Hello, and welcome to history class. I am your history professor, and my name is Jennifer Haynes. I did just change my name, so if you see Jennifer Hobson Plattner, that is why. I just don't want you to be confused, so you understand why you see both names until they get everything situated in the system. I love history, and here's some pictures of a trip I took a few years ago when I had a very special birthday. The first picture in the top left is in front of Big Ben. Then you have the Eiffel Tower. Then we have the Palace of Versailles. The bottom left is the Louvre. And the right lower picture is London Bridge. It was fantastic and just a magical trip to Europe. All right, I wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to say welcome. My name is Jennifer Haynes. We already went over that. I'm thrilled to have you in my history class this semester. I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in Los Angeles, California, and moved to Cincinnati, Ohio when I was 5. And it was pretty interesting because when I moved, it was the year we had the blizzard and the Ohio River actually froze over and people pushed a car across it. So it's very different from sunny California weather. Okay, my background. You have a picture of my mom and dad. My dad was born in East LA and grew up in the projects. Definitely grew up inner city in the urban core. He put himself through community college and had a wonderful career in computers. And I think that's why community college means so much to me personally, because my father was able to buy my mom a farm. He always promised her a farm, and he got an amazing job in Cincinnati, and we moved. And I grew up on 10 acres and had the best childhood ever. My mom was born in West Virginia. In order to get to her house, you had to go through 2 creek beds full of water. My mom went to college for a couple weeks, but just decided to stay. She wanted to stay home and have kids and be a mom. My parents come from 2 very different worlds, but I think it really helps as I teach history and really is a positive. My family, this is a picture of us when we went to Canada one year. We had some friends that lived across the street from the Atlantic Ocean in Quebec, I believe. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. You can see we just came from the Liberty Bell. We went to Philadelphia on the way because my goofy brother has a shirt with a bell on it, and I'm sure the hat matches. And I'm the youngest in the front, and my oldest sister, then my brother John, then my brother Tim, and then me. When we went to visit the Liberty Bell, it's a funny memory because my brother John told me that I'm the one who broke it, and that's why there was a crack in it. And I think I was 6 years old. And he said he was going to tell Mom that I broke it, and I began to cry at this beautiful historical monument where they have the Liberty Bell. And yet I love history. Activities. When we moved to Ohio, my parents bought a small farm. Like I said, I had the best childhood ever. Goats, a pony, chickens, turkey, rabbits, ducks. What else did we have? Dogs, cats. We even had peacocks. I played basketball and volleyball in high school. In high school, I found that history was my favorite subject. I was on the student body council and in high school and enjoyed student government. I was also a cheerleader in college. I went to a small private college in Greenville, South Carolina called Bob Jones University and graduated with a degree in social studies. In 1994, I taught middle school history in a private school for a year. I then taught middle school world history and high school arts and humanities in the inner city for 6 years, and I loved it. I coached the girls' high school varsity basketball team for several years as well. I have 3 sons. These are kind of older pictures. They're pretty big now. They are actually 23, 15, and 13. But you have to understand, the middle son is now taller than his big brother. So they're 6'4", 6'5", and I don't know, maybe 5'9". So they're tall ones. I have three sons. They are the joy of my life, and they love history just like their mom, and we are very close, and I just enjoy them a lot. Interests and hobbies. I love to grow roses. I have 100 roses. Um, I love to golf. We love Star Wars. I love skiing. The Renaissance Festival is one of my favorite things ever. Sledding, running, art, paintings, and we love holidays. I'm also a sports fan. You kind of have to, you know, you got three boys that love sports. You either get left behind or you join them. But I've always liked sports and played sports. So we love the Cincinnati Reds. We're diehard Reds fans, and we love the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's just who we are. In 2013, I decided to enroll in grad school nearly 20 years after I graduated from college. I went to the University of Cincinnati and was given the opportunity to be a teaching assistant. I decided to get my master's in history and not in education. I wanted to challenge myself, and wow, it was so hard. It was a huge challenge. I loved it, but it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, just because of the sheer page load of reading, thousands. So I am a trained educator, and then also I am a trained historian. In 2015, I graduated with my master's in history. I was able to teach on the campus of UC as a teaching assistant and presented my master's thesis at our annual history conference, the Queen City Colloquial. So I helped professors teach. Sometimes I taught lectures for them when they were out of town, and it was a lot of wonderful training. My areas of concentration are history, are gender, art, and religion. My master's thesis was on the most famous female artist from Cincinnati. Her name was Elizabeth Nurse. She lived from 1860 to 1939 and moved to Paris at the age of 28. She remained in Paris during World War I and received a medal from the French government because she saved thousands of Belgian refugees. She was an outstanding artist. If you know who Mary Cassatt is, they actually knew each other about the same time frame. It took Mary Cassatt 3 years to enter her first painting in the Salon, the French Salon, which is like a premier art show. And she, took many classes at different art studios in Paris. It took Elizabeth Nurse 3 months instead of 3 years. And she went to an art studio, and the teacher said, "You need to go home because we will ruin your technique. It's perfect." And in 3 months, her first piece of art, you can see it to the left. It's the middle one. It's with a mother and baby. And it is owned by the Cincinnati Art Museum. I know sometimes it's traveling, but you can see it there. If you look the top left picture, if you go downtown over the Rhine, this is her self-portrait, and it is on a huge building. And I was just ecstatic because this happened. They painted it on a huge building after I wrote my master's thesis on her. And lastly, my teaching style I wanted to explain to you. I prefer a hands-on approach to teaching. My background and experience in the inner city, I believe, really helped hone these skills for me as an instructor. I try to incorporate primary resources into class. Of course, this is an online class. It is a class that's already been set up, but I'm sure that there's primary sources because that's what history is all about. I try to teach towards a diverse learning environment. I like to work with different things, and maybe in my announcements I'll include, some artwork or film clips or some extra neat things. I know that in your textbook there's a lot of those things, and they really add to history if it's something that you love or something that you struggle with. It really makes it something more interesting. The most important part of this course is learning how to write a research paper with strong evidence and a clear, concise thesis. Students are encouraged to tie their topics to their own interests and career choices. Please do not worry. We will map this project out step by step. And please, 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 if you need help in any way, I do have my cell number. And you are welcome to text me anytime, day or night. Now, I might be sleeping, so I'm not going to answer you at 2 in the morning, but please feel free and I will text you as soon as I get it. That's actually the quickest way to get a hold of me. Email is probably the second quickest. And lastly, ask questions. Questions are encouraged. There are truly no stupid questions in my classroom. What's most important to me is to create a safe classroom where students really thrive. We all know we've had those teachers that maybe if we asked a question, they put us on the spot or made us feel stupid. Hopefully not too many in life we've had like that. But those teachers who say, hey, that's a great question, or hey, don't feel bad about a question that sounds stupid. It's not. Those teachers we know invite you to learn and to ask lots of questions. All right, and the last slide. I'm looking forward to having you in class. There's my contact information. My email will be changing soon, so I'm giving you my personal email, which I don't normally do. Please try to send it to my Gateway email address first. And but if you can't get a hold of me, I want to make sure that you can, because we don't need any more anxiety. You guys are probably working full time and have children or just really busy schedules, and I want to make sure that you can contact me. My cell phone number, and like I said again, texting is always best. Feel free to text anytime with any question at all. I would much rather you have your questions answered and you be at ease so that you can do your very best to be successful in this class. Thank you very much and have a great day.